Mike and Leo, twin brothers with a love for classic cars, had just scored what they thought was a bargain. At a local police impound auction, they purchased a beat-up 1965 luxury sedan. The car was cheap because it had been involved in an old, cold case, a notorious organized crime disappearance from the 1970s. The title was clean, the price was low, and the twins believed they could restore the beautiful classic. They hauled the massive, dusty car back to their small garage and began the intensive teardown process. The first few weeks were standard restoration, stripping the rust, replacing the interior upholstery, and rebuilding the engine. The car was surprisingly clean inside, suggesting the police had thoroughly investigated it years ago. However, when they got to the trunk, they noticed an odd inconsistency. The floor of the trunk, which should have been smooth stamped metal, had a slight, uneven bump near the rear seat bulkhead. They pulled back the worn, 50-year-old carpet liner. The metal floor beneath looked professionally installed but was slightly newer and sealed with a heavy layer of black automotive undercoating. Leo, a meticulous welder, immediately saw the evidence of expert but unauthorized work, a clean, perfect seam where the original floor panel should have been, indicating a replacement or a large modification. The trunk space had been completely reconstructed. Their curiosity piqued, they used a wire wheel to strip away the undercoating, revealing a welded seam that circled the entire perimeter of the trunk. This was clearly a hidden compartment. They knew that cutting into a police-impounded vehicle with a mysterious past was risky, but the urge to know what was sealed inside was too strong. They carefully began cutting along the original seam with a plasma cutter. "Hey guys! Quick break, because we need your help to show you the full story of this mysterious trunk. We are so close to hitting 1,000 subscribers, and we need to smash that goal ASAP. If you haven't already, please hit that like button and subscribe. It makes a massive difference. Also, drop a comment below and let us know where in the world you're watching this video from. We love seeing how far our adventures travel. Now, let's get back to the good stuff. The entire trunk floor panel finally came free, dropping slightly to reveal a secondary, shallow compartment beneath. The compartment was lined with thick, sound-dampening foam and contained not money or weapons, but two items. The first was a large, heavy briefcase made of polished aluminum, secured with two combination locks. The second was a complex, obsolete piece of electronic equipment, a massive shortwave radio transmitter that was clearly modified for sophisticated, long-range encrypted communication, far beyond anything commercially available in the 1970s. The presence of the transmitter confirmed the secret was linked to serious organized crime or espionage, and that the car had been used for illegal activity. They were holding evidence of a cold case. The twins immediately focused on the aluminum briefcase. It was the key to understanding the car's dark history. They were unable to pick the high-quality combination locks, so they opted for a controlled breach using a small hydraulic spreader. The metal popped with a loud thwack, and they opened the case. The contents were shocking. It was filled with hundreds of tightly bound cashier's checks, all drawn on various offshore banks and dated across a 3-year span in the mid-1970s. The checks were made out to various numbered shell corporations. The total value, when Mike quickly calculated the sums, was a staggering $1.8 million USD, a massive sum for that era. But the illegal nature wasn't the money itself. It was the second set of documents in the briefcase, a ledger detailing a complex international money laundering operation and a stack of highly encrypted, obsolete magnetic tapes. The ledger was written in code, but one page contained a partial key, revealing that the funds were the proceeds from a large-scale, illegal smuggling operation involving Cold War-era technology. The car had been a vital component of the organization's logistics and communication, designed to be inconspicuous yet secretly equipped with the necessary tools for complex, secure coordination. The crime was deep and highly organized. The twins knew they couldn't keep this. The money was a liability, and the documents were evidence. They immediately contacted the local police department that had initially impounded the car, requesting to speak to the cold case unit specifically about the 1970s disappearance associated with the vehicle. They brought the entire sealed compartment, the briefcase, and the sophisticated radio equipment to the precinct. The reaction from the authorities was immediate and intense. The cold case unit recognized the car and the original investigation. The discovery of the checks and the coded ledger finally provided the missing link in a case that had been dormant for 40 years. The magnetic tapes, when decrypted by federal specialists, contained encrypted financial logs and communication data that revealed the full scope of the smuggling network, naming every operative involved. The illegal nature of the hidden contents was far beyond simple possession. It was a conspiracy that stretched across the globe. The twins were now witnesses in a major federal investigation. The subsequent investigation, fueled by the evidence recovered from the car's secret compartment, led to several long-overdue arrests and the recovery of millions more in assets tied to the original smuggling ring. The twins, Mike and Leo, cooperated fully with the federal authorities, providing detailed testimony about the discovery and the car's history. They never asked for money or special favors. They simply wanted to help solve the crime. However, the federal government and the banks involved recognized the immense value of the evidence they had provided. The information from the ledger and the magnetic tapes allowed the government to confiscate and recover the $1.8 million in cashier's checks, as well as several properties and offshore accounts. As a reward for their honesty and cooperation, the federal government legally awarded the twin brothers a finder's fee and a reward settlement for their role in breaking the case. The final reward, paid out by the U.S. Treasury for the recovery of illegally laundered assets, totaled an astonishing $1.9 million USD. The twins were completely stunned. They went from struggling to finish a restoration project to becoming millionaires overnight, simply for doing the right thing. The money was legally certified and completely clean. They used the money to open their own professional classic car restoration garage, focusing specifically on high-end, historical vehicles. They were able to pursue their passion professionally, thanks to the illegal secrets of the old sedan. The original car, the 1965 luxury sedan, was deemed historical evidence and retired from the road. The twins received a special plaque commemorating their honesty and contribution to law enforcement. They realized that the illegal secret hidden in the trunk of the car was not a curse, but a bizarre stroke of luck that set them on the path to financial freedom. Thanks for watching our incredible journey.